shared food was too long, isn't it?
It's really normal size, it's just, our stove takes a pretty small stick.
Yeah,
17-inch max,
yeah, I have a kitchen cook stove and that's,
same
it
thing.
has to be small wood, cause, I mean, it's just too hard to get it in there, you know?
Right, yeah, ours, you put the, logs in upright,
Oh, yeah,
so it's
Yeah.
like a
There he
bird.
is.
yeah.
Hey, Justin.
You almost didn't see him until 6:30. I don't know what reminded me, like 5 minutes ago. It was moving to 6.
Well, something, Georgia.
Yep.
Word. Give you a second, just call the order.
I'll give that a second.
You all set?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Oh, I thought you asked for a second to call.
I know, I said I was offering. you.
Now I got you. I thought you were looking for like a second to a motion.
No.
Alright.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order, it's 18:02. And we'll start with, citizens' comments. Nothing?
I don't have any, no, thank you.
Okay. Then we'll move on to, petty cash. We were talking about getting petty cash, is that what the conversation's
Yeah.
going with?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think just to help with office stuff, when people do pay with cash.
yep,
Who was it, the three of us were here one day trying to chase down 84 cents or something like that out of our cars?
yeah,
Right.
18 cents or something like that. So what we need to do is actually formally make a motion to, set amount, is that what we're looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we have a preferred amount that you would think,
I would do $50.
$50 would be enough?
There's a lot of small bills.
Would that fit into the BMD, $50 for
I
petty
think,
cash?
yeah, I think, you know,
Bills and
assortment of,
change.
yeah,
Okay, so I'll make a motion that, we use our debit card, I guess it would be, or take it out of one of our general fund
Yeah.
to get $50 in small bills and change, to make change for our day-to-day activities, to be kept in the vault, when it's not being used, and,
Yeah, we just have to manage when it's recycled back to 50, if
Yeah.
it starts to collect more.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, if there's
we'd have
any
to,
need for like a register, some sort of register.
we can stop monthly unless,
It
Yeah.
shouldn't get over 50 because if there's cash that comes in, that should be receipted.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point,
deposit.
yep.
So only the change of that cash would be in the cash drawer.
That's right.
So
Yep.
if somebody paid, $100 for $84, I mean, we're gonna receipt the 84 and then, but our petty cash would go down. So
Right.
there are gonna be times where it needs to be replenished if we're making change out of that $50.
Yep.
I would think because we're depositing what we're making
Yep.
the other cash.
Yeah, so we just have to figure out a rhythm of when to replenish it.
We could start with monthly and then see how this affects us, and if we have to, we can change it. I mean, that's, simple, right? That would save, or anybody else? Think anything different? So we're gonna go 50, small bills. Monthly.
And probably some change too.
And, yep, small bills and change, yeah. All right.
Was there a second on that?
I'll second it if you didn't have one yet.
All in favor? Perfect. All right, Article 3, general assistance of appendices for 24-25, discuss and adopt as appropriate.
So with general assistance, everybody, all towns, municipalities are required to have a general assistance officer. We call it general assistance, but people will call it welfare. It's available to all people in the state of Maine, and they're pretty serious about it down in Augusta. But the whole process is really fairly complicated, and I was encouraged that if anybody applies to GA, just to call them and help, because if we do get it, we get it so infrequently, I'm not sure anybody would ever really figure it all out. And, then there's changes. But anyway, what we have to do, and I can fill in the top, they call what they call the appendices, which you can look at, and basically what it tells you, and it's adjusted for Somerset County, the maximum that we would pay for rent, for food, for all that kind of stuff. The MMA, drafted a new ordinance, and they were encouraging, larger municipalities to adopt that ordinance, but it's really not appropriate for us, cause we aren't really in, we don't really have ordinances, and so if not, you would attach these, appendices. And, the amounts and all that are all on here, but we basically have to just formally adopt the appendices as being what we're going by for reimbursement.
Okay,
So, and you can look at all this.
so we're adopting the policy that's set forth by the state, basically.
Got general assistance
General
ordinance by the
assistance.
state. It says by the state, but it says right here, repeal and replacing appendices A through H of the existing ordinance, so they've been updated, is
Okay.
basically what's happening. I'm sure because of inflation, the amounts have increased. I don't have the old documents. but-
Now, do we post that, something on our website?
I don't think we post this, but we.
That we have, that we're a part of that program or something?
I I think it's already on the website, that
Okay.
there's a general assistance officer, and that's me,
Okay,
and my name, and I think the contact,
Okay.
probably my email is on there.
all right.
And then we have the little notice out on the front door. I tried, I don't know how many times I called the state and talked to people to try to get a bigger one, because we had a bigger one, they do up at West Fork, I couldn't seem to get it. They sent me that, I tried to make it bigger, and then it was too big, and so that's what it is, but I would like to get another one,
Right.
so.
All right, so I'll make a motion, we accept, the updated general assistance appendices, 24-25.
My second?
All in favor?
Today's a.
Okay, moving on, are we all set with that?
Yep.
ARPA update.
Just a second. I just gotta.
Sure.
2024. Okay, so I got a call from somebody from the Department of Treasury, federal government, Emma something or other, and basically, when I tried to, early on, tried to go through their portal and provide the appropriate documentation for that $3,700 that we said we would, that they gave us, that we said we would put towards the generator. I got really bogged down, I could not get through this portal. The old site administrator was Sandy, it wasn't me. I think one of the problems with this kind of stuff is that when administration changes, in particular with us, the administrator didn't change. And so I got a video from them about how to do this. I've watched it once. It seemed extraordinarily confusing to me. I think I need to watch it again. And this woman, Emma, is available every Tuesday, so I may stab at it when I get a chance in here, find out what I can't do, and then next Tuesday contact Emma. Try to work through this, we can keep that $3,700.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's basically what it is.
It is for the generator, yeah.
Yeah, and they will, the whole process expires December 31st, so I've got a little bit of time to work on it.
Okay,
So I just wanted to give people
no, I appreciate that.
an update on where we are with that. And that's it.
Any other discussion? Justin? All right, we'll move on to number 5, FEMA Mountain Cemetery Road update.
Okay, our FEMA applications have been completed, not only for reimbursement for the Moxie Road repair, but also for what has been done on Mountain Cemetery and what still needs to be done on Mountain Cemetery. I don't believe, and it may take months till we know for certain that it's been approved and we get our money. But they did approve to have what they call mitigation where it washed out last year. So I got 2 estimates. The first one came from Ben, and I actually got that in time to forward it to FEMA. And then I have become aware that Daryl is now doing this, like, officially. So I have an estimate from him, you can see both of them. I think one of the issues here, and again, I'm kinda new to all this, is that the work is different. I mean, Ben's is lower, but the work isn't extensive as Drew's property management, so we're kinda got apples and oranges here.
You're right. Did
And
you
I
ask
don't-
Andy Webb for us?
Yeah, he wasn't interested.
Okay.
He just too small of a job.
No worries,
I gave him plenty of time.
He's
and
been good for us, I just wanna make sure.
2 or 3 times, I reminded him, can you come up and do an estimate? Finally, I said, I'm gonna have to reach out to Ben, he said, no problem.
Sure,
And then I reached out to Daryl because now he's in business and it's the right thing to do.
absolutely.
And I don't know what you do when you're doing apples and oranges, whether we go back to.
Are we sure it's just not a lot of detail in Ben's estimate, so, would he not, do you think, be doing similar work? What do you think is different about the, detail wise?
Well, all of the, really the riprap, installing the riprap, and, then the, ditch along the right side of the road leading into the culvert. I don't believe that in Ben's estimate that he, again, it lacks detail, so I'm not sure how many feet he was looking at. And the concern, because it was a 20-foot culvert, and you look at the whole thing, that when that spits out, if you don't have good riprap on the outlet, it's just, that whole thing's gonna wash out
Right.
again.
Or the inlay, absolutely, yeah.
So Daryl has a more robust, more costly estimate, but it's also a more robust work.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we go back to Ben and say, this, we're looking at.
At least make certain that he wasn't, that's pretty standard, no, the riprap, so it might, are we sure he's not planning on including that? It's not.
Well, I can't tell.
Have any of the
Yes.
materials.
Yeah,
I can't tell, you know what I mean?
Just
Yeah.
ask him for, you don't have to tell him what's in the other one, but maybe you could just ask for a more detailed estimate,
Right,
period.
because what we have from Ben, we don't see any charges for any of the material. Cause he,
just the culvert, yeah. I mean, I think you could probably just grab a shot of this work description from Daryl
Yep.
without any of the other details, and just say, just one,
You can't give that to,
no, but I
just the
can tell
work
him that,
description?
no,
Well, you could just tell him that that's what we want done.
not that Daryl's thing, but I can say that,
just more detailed
More
description of
detailed.
what he expects to do,
right,
yeah.
and, the,
Yeah, you can tell them the expectation of the riprap.
Yeah, I guess my thought was express it in the way that it's what we expect, not
right.
this is what somebody else has
right, and
offered.
say, we're thinking we need to have riprap and it's
Yeah.
not included here, can you redo it, include
Yeah.
riprap? I'm not
Yeah.
talking about what Daryl's estimate or
Right.
anything. I think we should have the riprap. FEMA's kind of funny, there was a big deal about that, the
Yeah.
ditching and all that, because they told me, oh no, you can't ditch, just put in a culvert, and I'm like, you don't ditch, the culvert isn't gonna work, I mean,
Right.
you have to do, so, well, yeah, a little bit here. Fact of the matter is, and I addressed this with our contact at FEMA, the claim that they're putting in is for substantially more money than we're gonna pay Andy or this is. And I said, look, our costs aren't gonna be as much as you're planning, and she goes, don't worry about it, it happens all the time, so I'm like, I just wanted to be honest, and it's like, we're making money, so
Mhm.
I don't feel like we need to scrimp here, although we don't know for certain, through all the layers of bureaucracy, that the, application will ever be approved by FEMA, there's no guarantee,
Right,
you know what I mean? All I can tell you is it's in the pipeline right now,
yeah.
so.
I think that there's difference in the material there, but there's also, a not insignificant difference in the labor cost, it's not a marginal amount, Daryl's comes to almost more than double for the labor, just the excavator and labor work.
And he estimates 8 hours. I don't believe, I think he put a high estimate, I'm not sure he charged you the whole 8 hours, but that's an estimate.
Yeah, that's what this is, an estimate.
Yep.
So, would it be appropriate for me to go back to Ben and ask him to include riprap above and below?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And redo the estimate?
And this other one calls out crushed gravel. Yeah, just whatever's missing from.
Yep.
Between the two.
Okay, that's all, it's just, what I need to.
So you'll follow up with that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, no worries.
all right. Any more discussion? All right, item 6, housekeeping, job update.
Okay, housekeeping, I have 2 applications, I think I gave you a copy, of the applications. As you would probably remember with the, posting, we said hours and wages negotiable. If we all 3 wanna be involved in the interview process, according to my understanding, it would have to be under an executive session. Or one of us, we can decide that one of us is gonna do it and be responsible for interviewing and hiring the person. It doesn't really matter to me. The only thing I worry about the executive session is that if, like Tabitha's already called me a couple times, like, what's going on? I said, well, I don't need to jerk you around, you gotta have the assessors meeting, discuss it. But I don't know if it can wait until next month, do you know what I'm saying?
I think we should jump around this, right, it's already been a couple months, we wanted to get this done, and, I mean, it's fall,
Right,
this place needs a good cleaning. I don't care myself personally whether we all 3 of us have to interview, I think we're all very competent individuals, so if anybody wants to take the lead on that, they can, or I will, it doesn't matter, or we can, if you just think that we all need to be there, or 2 of us, then that's fine.
I think it'd be good to have at least a couple people, that way one person doesn't feel like they're responsible for the
Okay.
decision, depending on how the results
how
come out.
things play out.
Yeah.
I kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, come on, rob us blind.
And if it's gonna be 2 of us, it's gonna be an executive
Yeah.
session, so let's try to at least get 2 of us at one of those.
Either hang together or hang separately.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it.
Okay, I'll try to get it scheduled and reach out to these ladies, get them both at the same time.
Okay, so am I under this, that you 2 are gonna do it?
We sure can, yeah.
And you're welcome to be involved too, so.
If I, yeah, depending on what time you make a date for and that type of stuff, I mean, yeah, but then it would have to be executive session.
It would
Well,
have to
even
be-
if it's the 2 of us,
just
it
2
has
of us,
to be,
if it's
yeah.
Oh, it does?
It's a quorum, so.
That's not that big of a deal, I
No.
just did it the other night, we took
Yeah.
the statute, cause it's a human
No, that's fine,
resources.
yeah, that was fine. Perfect,
Alright.
yeah, so if you can get it set up, if I'm available, I will certainly join in. And try to get them both for a similar.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, basically.
Okay, good. Number 7, I thought we've already taken care of, Moxie Dam closure date,
That's the 2.
and that's,
November 15th, but unless, or
Pardon
we said on or about November 15th.
yeah, and I said November, it will probably be November 17th, will be that Sunday.
Okay, I guess then that, my bad, I didn't.
No worries, no worries. I just, when we had,
Mark?
Mark Leathers, yeah, thank you. I was drawing a blank on, when Mark was here, he said that his literature from Inland Fisheries recommended November 15th, and I looked at the calendar and I said, yeah, we can make that work, and probably the 17th will be that Sunday, will be the better day for me to do it.
Okay, I,
Yep, no
like I
worries.
said, I missed that, but, all right.
Yep.
What's
And I-
closing the dams big, I mean,
Basically, we're opening the gates
oh, you mean opening the dam?
Yes.
Okay. To drain down.
to drain it down, yeah.
I watched it by Leon. the other
Okay,
day,
should
the
I
other day.
reword that to say Moxie Dam open?
Or,
Drawdown.
drawdown, yeah, there you go,
Okay.
yeah. And I've already mentioned it to Leon, and we'll grease everything, we'll put everything to bed for the winter that day as well, so.
Okay, and then I'll make sure that that gets on the website.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I wanted to make sure that we have that date
Yep.
publicized.
When is the right opportunity for like inspection for any repairs that might need to be done, or is
After it's drawn down, I'll look at it, and then
before the winter or after, or does it
I
matter?
will look at it probably the following week or whatever, just to look at, see what's going on, and then make an assessment whether we have a meeting and talk about gate repair or something to that effect. The only one I'm concerned about is the deep gate. It did seem to, seal up quite well. So it might need a piece of lumber at the bottom, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I won't know until we actually draw it down so I can see it. But as far as the, other maintenance, if you're talking the bigger stuff, those gates aren't all that old. There is some stuff that does need, not annual, but it does need, attention on occasion. My primary focus at the moment is getting the money back in the account for
Yeah.
it. And then we'll work on next year trying to see what we need for maintenance on it, whether it's, an inspection or whatnot. But we really need to get our account back to,
Yep.
to afford it,
Yep.
if you will.
Susan, if you didn't have it at the last meeting, would you like a motion and a vote to do it on November 17th, or is that not necessary?
I don't think it's noticeable, I
Okay.
can, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know that it's required.
Okay, if it's in the minutes, it's on the record, and then we can
Yeah,
reference it.
I
in the
make a
future.
motion,
Yeah,
I make a motion that we accept November 17th as the drawdown date for Lake Moxie Dam.
I'll second.
Okay,
All in favor? All right. You all set?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8, the use of office space. So we've had some discussion about moving some offices and creating better working environments for office space. Basically, just so you're aware, we're all trying to cram in that one little room.
Right, I
And-
was at the last.
That's the last one.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it's been, we looked at maybe moving into here and leaving that alone as the tax collector, treasurer, cause they need the vault and they have a lot of that files, we have a lot of filing cabinets.
Mhm.
We looked at moving the assessors in here, that's a little bit more spacious, and that's the discussion that we're having.
And BMV too.
And BMV, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, BMV, cause that's, yeah, that, she can have, there'll be one spot for the BMV computer, and basically it's running one Cat5 cable across, and I think we have enough equipment to get started, so.
Good.
That's a,
Does that have an outside entrance?
it does,
Does, yeah.
handicapped outside
Handicapped,
entrance,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
yep, and a bathroom, so.
Nice.
So, I don't know if we need a special meeting or we need to have it to a town meeting, because the town did a vote to make that a gym. I don't know if we can take that away without a town meeting.
Are
That's
you,
something-
like moving all the equipment out of it?
We're gonna move it to the side at first,
Yeah,
at a later date, we may discuss,
mhm,
maybe creating, if the public wants a gym, we may maybe look at going into the garage. It's heated,
oh, sure.
but that's up to the public,
Right.
you know,
How much use has there been? I mean, is there any use of that?
there is a few people in town that actually travel to Bingham, regularly to go to
Oh.
the gym.
Yeah,
The problem was before is you had to be a Forks resident, and it was pick and choose, and I can tell that because
oh,
there,
yeah.
there was, see, they wouldn't give the key out to
No.
anybody.
Give me a key.
No,
Huh? Right,
Give me a key.
that's what I'm saying, so, if we're gonna do it, Justin and I have talked quite a bit about, well, not quite a bit, some about, if we're gonna do it, it would be a much better fit to have a bigger space for it.
which
So,
the garage is, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
but the discussion would be, well, if we ever got a kid, do we get a bus, blah, 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 so, I mean,
well,
you
you
know,
deal with that when it happens.
that's how we feel at the moment, I think, right?
Yeah, and I noted that the West Forks keeps their transportation vehicle outside year-round, and it's really not, I mean, most school buses are
Right.
kept outside year-round, it's not.
And we'll have a meeting if we go in that direction, and the public will be able to say, hey, yeah, we wanna do this, or no, we don't.
Do you have to have a bathroom?
For the gym,
Could you just have a porta potty
I
to
think-
get by?
that I don't know,
That's a
I
good
think you
point.
have to have some sort of
Yeah.
facilities, yeah, you're probably right.
Well, maybe you could just do a porta
Porta
potty
potty, yeah,
to start with.
Yep.
To see how much use you're actually getting.
exactly, yep. We got no use here now, so, I
No.
mean, there are people out there with keys, it was
Yeah.
condemned during COVID, but nobody's asked to come back, so.
Right.
That's why we're leaning in this direction, to
Yeah.
move the office and make it a little bit easier, because really, you try to get the 5 of us in that one little
Well,
room.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
even to
even
go
two.
in and do
Two people.
anything,
Even
even to
two
get your
people.
registration done, it's pretty tight in there for the
Yeah.
public too.
Right, so,
Yeah,
so that's the discussion.
well, it seems like you're utilizing space that isn't being utilized for anything, we spend a lot of money on that,
I agree.
yeah.
So, as this discussion, do we need to have a vote, or do we need to discuss it more to make this happen, or what do you guys think?
I'm of the inclination that we can make the vote tonight, and make it happen. I obviously don't have recollection of when that was voted in to become a gym, how serious that
Oh, it's
was,
a
or,
long time
yeah,
ago.
so I feel like it's probably safe to go ahead and do it. It would be nice to try to do it all at once, you know what I mean, like present the idea of changing the gym to the office and the garage to a gym, but I don't think, that would just slow things down, so I think we should just.
I think you can do one at a time. I think once we move in here, then we can.
Yeah.
If the people, bring that up to the, hey, what about the gym, hey, what about the gym?
Yeah.
We can throw that as an alternative.
Yeah, and even if they don't, I would like to keep pushing forward with that gym.
I'm with you on this
Yeah,
one, I'm with you on this one.
if we, it's sort of like a build it and then they will come, I mean, that garage is set up for a great little fitness box.
I agree a hundred
And,
percent, I really do. I would love to get back into the gym,
and you know,
Well,
not
and
put
if
the cart
it
before
was,
the.
if it was a little more accessible, you didn't have to go through quite as much to get
Exactly.
in there.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
You're gonna have some sort of controls and
Yeah.
some sort of,
I had a
record
person
keeping.
living with me that wanted to use it, but they weren't a resident, you
Right.
know?
And it, you know, not to cart before the horse it, but I mean, it could be, maybe it'd be marginal, but it could be, we could examine ways to make it a source of revenue for the town if we wanted to open it up to non-residents and.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Brandon would, look at, probably donate some equipment and.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a whole garage of it.
I do wonder, if we do have a snow blower in there,
Yeah.
lawnmower, trailer, so,
Yeah.
you know, a few little stuff, I mean, it's pretty much
We
free.
could-
There's some stuff in there that we'll have to try to
Yeah,
figure out.
let's get to the office space now, and
Yeah.
then we'll move to that direction at a later date as we get moving.
We should though look or ask MMA for, guidance on liability.
I already know.
Yeah, right,
Okay,
so right now we're discussing, we're gonna stay with just the office space, and then we'll move on to the gym as another focus, in the upcoming months. I think Justin and I can get together and do a little research and figure out some stuff, something to present at a meeting, so we have all our ducks in a row.
okay.
Yeah.
So Justin, was that your motion then to use?
I'm gonna make a motion that we, utilize the old gym as office space for the assessors and the BMV, and, make this work.
Assessors, BMV, IF&W, is there anything else that we're missing as far as regular happenings?
Clerk duties,
Yeah.
some files, whatever, yeah.
I think that's a great solution, because you're not laying out any money except for that.
One cable, yeah.
And does that mean that if you didn't convert it to office space, that you would have internet access if it went back to being a gym? Is that what that cable would do?
Yes.
Well, then that's a plus, you know?
Right. Yeah, and plug it right into your smart TV or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're not really putting out any money, and yet you're utilizing
I
space
have
that
the-
isn't being utilized.
I have the Cripper and the ends, all we have to do is buy the cable.
Right,
So it's a
right,
cheap money
right.
fix that we can do.
And you're not changing all the wall space until you know whether even that would
We
work.
might drill a hole, but I think some of the wiring already goes through there, so we might be able to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
The
that's,
only other cash outlay would be just swapping the door handle, new lock.
Oh,
on
we
the
gotta
door.
put new locks,
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
Yeah,
that's nice.
and, yeah, eventually probably another computer or something, but we
Eventually.
can approach that when it comes time.
At this, we'll get rolling with this right now, and.
Yeah.
And at that point, maybe, as we get it moving, then we'll ask the people for a computer, if we get that far.
Well, at least by that time you've tried it,
Yeah.
and you know whether you wanna bring it
Right,
up to the town, or you have another
Yeah.
idea that you need to do.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea.
glad you feel that way. So, I'll make a motion, that we move forward, or did I already make this motion?
Yeah, you did. I'll second it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yes, you did a good one.
No, it's just,
All right,
that's just,
item 9,
so, messages.
tax collector and treasurer's resignation and pending vacancy. Well, I don't feel as though we gotta read it out loud. But Evan has put in his resignation, 2-week notice for the tax collector and treasurer. So formally, we have to, accept it, right? So, you've read it?
Yep.
We've all read it. We should print it and put it on file. Make sure we have that, so. I make a motion that we accept Evan's, unless he wants to change his mind.
No, no.
I was hoping.
I'll make a motion that we accept Evan's, resignation. As written, I guess.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay. Pending vacancies, we, 2 weeks is not a long time. I asked the Giroux, Samantha, cause she expressed a little interest, and they have the same comments as Evan. They don't wanna be held down if they wanna go to Aruba for a month. They go to Florida for a couple of months, so,
You must have enjoyed your travel to Indiana where you went or something of it. It must have sparked a whole desire.
That, the gist of it is that my wife is done working, and so we really have a desire to travel.
Oh, of course, of course.
So that's,
Well, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Certainly.
excellent, I mean, yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm disappointed for the town, of course, you know, you did a great job, we really appreciate the work and get us caught up. We're hoping we can continue that move forward. I know Denise has mentioned that she would take the tax collector, but she would not take the treasurer, if that's something that we come up with, or, I know we should post this.
They could and should use, but I think really the treasury job is enough for one person.
Yep.
So I don't think that's a negative to split those back up.
No, me neither.
It was always done that way.
And I would have no problem, helping transition the treasurer and the tax collector, but I'd be more useful to the treasurer than the tax collector position, cause I haven't been in it very long.
Yep.
So,
And
but I would still help her.
Oh, yeah,
know where
if
stuff
that's who it is, we
Yeah,
still
or
have.
anyone, you know,
Right.
like that.
I think we need to post this, on the website at Mary's or wherever that we're looking, and we'll have to have, some sort of special meeting. And on top of that, I also think that we should ask the people in that same meeting whether we can, as the town, change that from elected to appointed. Like the West Forks has done.
Mhm. A lot of towns do that.
A lot of towns appoint those positions.
That's smart.
So, because sometimes you may have, you know, a person that's interested, you know, that's a resident, this and that, but then you have another person that's interested that is really qualified to do that, because we're talking monies,
Absolutely.
we're talking finances, and we've been in a world of hurt for the last few years, and I just think that, it would be better for the town if we had that opportunity.
Mhm.
So, I think we need and I hate to say it, a special meeting to move this forward,
To make it an appointed position.
to make that a appointed position,
Okay.
as well as, the people need to understand and know that we're looking.
Do you think you could appoint it currently just to get it filled?
I don't think so, because you think so?
I would wanna review the
I thought
statutes
you could
again.
do that whenever
but
anyone was.
Last I
asked.
recalled, if you were an assessor, okay,
Yeah,
in order to get it, in other words, let's suppose Justin resigned, we can't appoint a new third assessor.
no,
That has to be voted in,
Yeah.
but with the treasurer and the tax collector, you can, and you may recall that that's exactly what the last administration did with, Angela Moen and then Janice Malloy
And Joyce, yep,
and
that's right.
Joyce, so.
No, you're right, okay.
I'm pretty sure that we have the authority to be able to do
And
that.
that's until the next election, so,
Yes.
and then the next election, we can ask to make them appointed.
I think that would be the way to go. to make
Okay,
it
good.
Permanently appointed. position.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's-
That makes sense to me, so.
So, with this, pending vacancy, issue, do we have any, should we put it out there for a week? You know what I mean, and then see what we have for individuals before we make that decision, see who's interested?
Yeah, in whatever posting that is, make it clear that it's open to not just residents.
Right, right.
Who's the woman who, oh man, I sat right next to her, she's got the camp up north of the lake,
Oh,
from Greenville?
Virginia?
I think so, yeah,
Is it Virginia?
that does ring a bell.
Yeah, to Virginia, I think what had been determined by her was the logistics of commuting
Oh,
Yeah.
during the winter time.
I thought it was because of the not being a resident.
No, I think it was availability, in the winter time in particular. She's here on Pleasant Pond most of the
Pleasant
summer.
Pond, that's right.
Both of these jobs, you have to be quite available, so.
Yeah. But yes, definitely, that they do not have to be, there's no residency
Okay.
requirement.
So, let's get them posted then, on the website and, locally, on the door areas, wherever.
Would you like myself to,
What's that?
would you like me to draft a posting?
If you don't mind.
We'll put it on the internet, you guys can look
Yep,
at it.
I know Susan does the internet thing, so maybe if we draw something up, she can scan it to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, I'll draw it out, let you guys look at it, make sure you're okay,
Okay.
and then we can approve and fire it to get posted
Yep.
physically and then on the website. I just wanna make sure that we agree on the wording and that.
Okay,
kind of
yep.
stuff, so I can do that tomorrow.
Is
Okay.
there a possibility that you could interview those people at the same time that you're doing the housekeeper one? And do executive session all at once?
It all depends if we get any interest, it would seem to me.
Right.
It would be convenient, but I don't know if they'll have interest in it, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to interview these housekeeping
Yeah.
applicants almost immediately.
Yeah, no, let's keep them as separate issues.
We might have to do.
Are you trying
another
to
one.
fill a joint position, or,
I-
and/or, is it an and/or
I
situation?
don't know, it depends on the candidate, I guess.
Yeah,
I
right.
think,
I would post them separately and then based on the candidate,
yes,
if we think they've got the capacity to do them both,
Yeah.
and no one else.
And the interest.
and here's, and what we also gotta, we'll discuss this further, but what we gotta look at too is longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cause these positions, I know they're only 1-year terms, but, the tax collector, treasurer, you need, we're trying to build something, as a solid base, and it takes more than just a few months, so.
I don't know if I forwarded the email to you, but I intended to. But on October 24th, and I already signed up for it, at the Somerset County Jail, there's gonna be MMA, KV-COG, and I believe people from the state. And the reason that they're having this meeting is to discuss the challenges that face small communities. And I think that the challenges that we're facing are not unique. The expectations that the state and federal government has of the treasurer and tax collector, or the financial piece of a small town like this,
Yeah.
keeps getting more and more volume and more, I'd say, technically difficult. And, we have these little towns, we don't have the human resources. Like I said to Susan, I feel like I wanna tell them that we're bankrupt in human resources. I mean, we're so limited to the number of people that are available and who want to do
And
it.
have all these controls, I mean, these controls are designed for larger governments, like
That's what
water
I'm
bills,
saying.
weekend.
They wanna hear from us, you know what I mean? And
No, I
what
agree.
what are your challenges? you know?
Absolutely,
And
thank
I
you.
think
Yep.
that's one of them,
Yep.
is, the expectations can keep ramping up, and we still have the same limited population and limited number of people that wanna do it, and then even more limited that wanna do it and are qualified,
No, I agree.
So I think, Dave, you made a motion to, post the treasurer and tax collector positions on the website and locally,
I did.
and then I need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, good discussion, sorry, Evan. Yeah, really, you've been good, you've been appreciative. Appreciate it, Sweden. All right, moving on, number 10, tax collector's report.
So the tax bills are out, and we started receiving payments, and we've, received a total of 7, payments, and 6 of those were full payments. So even though we did go to a 2-payment option this
Mhm.
year, the 6 out of the first 7 were full tax payments. Also, with the escrow services that request duplicate tax bills, I did mail out 2, big packages of those today, and I don't, see any more in the office, but I will make sure that we've got all of the tax services, but, I saw mine in there, I saw yours in there.
Okay, perfect.
You know, so I saw us, you
Yeah.
know, but I'm sure, I just felt like there would be more of them, it was pretty easy to do, so, now that the tax bills are out, the duplicate tax bills to the, tax services
Mhm.
is the next phase, and, anyway, I've been working on that, so that's kind of, it from the tax collector's report.
Any feedback?
None in the mailings.
Okay.
Um,
Any on the phone calls, anybody? Any feedback on the taxes? We thought we might get some feedback before the meeting?
I haven't checked the voicemails.
Okay.
I haven't received anything.
All right, I make a motion to accept the tax collector's report.
Second?
All in favor? Okay. Treasurer's report.
Okay, so from the treasury side, the checking balance as of today is 62,158.91. Some of that is flow through, to ATV Club. And so we have 2 warrants that I have with me right here that I did today. One is for the, ATV pass-through, it's 22,421.23. And then there's another, AP warrant that has, our current bills, which seemed kind of light, but it had our current bills plus some debit charges. So the current actual charges were like $1,341.73. So after warrants, we have about $38,395.95 in our checking account. So we're sitting in that $40,000 range. We do have, $3,667 of real estate taxes that I haven't deposited yet. I'm gonna deposit real estate taxes once a week on Fridays, because there are gonna be a lot of deposits starting to come in, hopefully, like constantly. And so get those through the week and then deposit them, make bigger deposits on Fridays. Anyway, that's the one where 6 of those are full payments. And then, okay, so we have this $22,000 that came in for the ATV club, this is 22,421. And now there's another 22,384 that's pending as of today, and I can't see exactly what it is until it's done pending. But is that a second half of the ATV club money? Cause I cut them a check today for 22, but now I'm thinking the other 22 is theirs also.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I'd have to.
I thought it was
clarify
45
with Ben.
last year, so that would make sense. This is like 45 bit together. Anyway, we have $22,000 coming in. That's what makes our account 38, is 22 of that is an unknown
That 38,
ACH coming in.
that 38 includes the pending? The pending
It-
22?
It does, yeah.
So we might only have 16 then?
Yeah.
I thought my account.
Hold on, let me verify, let me see if I can verify that. If it's pending, it might not be hitting my account total. I could be misspeaking right there, and I don't wanna do that. It might not be in the balances yet. So I think our I can confirm it after this meeting, but I don't think our balance is 16, it's. Sorry.
That's fine, so you're gonna double check that for us before we leave, just to make
Oh, I
sure.
will, for sure. I'm pretty sure that the, pending chart, or the pending, electronic funds transfer is not counted in the total. The
That
22,000.
would make sense, because they probably wouldn't add it in yet if it's pending.
Right,
No,
Yeah.
right. So other than that, that's all the activity that we've got. I got the two, warrants, 26 and 27, which I think everyone but Justin has signed, so I can hand them to you here or give them to you afterwards, Justin.
okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report,
Second.
all in favor? Okay, I'd like to go back to number 9, the resignation, if you would. I just gotta ask a question.
Sure.
Evan, if we get bunged up a little bit for a couple of weeks trying to get somebody, can you continue to help us out? Or is that something that, I'm leaving here in 2 weeks and set in stone?
That's a good question. I don't think it would be a problem to be flexible on that. A little bit.
We're still gonna do our due diligence to get those positions filled as quickly as possible, but it just, the nature of the beast, the nature of people, it's sometimes.
No, I know it's gonna be difficult.
A little difficult, so,
But hopefully we can find somebody that's willing to do it, and if I can show them what's going on, what's outstanding, how to do this, and at least the part that I know how to do, that'll at least give them a running start.
Yep.
So. But yeah, I mean, I'll try to be flexible, you know.
okay, thank you.
And we'll be as respectful as we can, but only asking for help when we ultimately need it.
Yeah.
You know, there's, the object will be to have you in the office as little as possible in that interim time.
But we'll wanna get somebody in here who can do banking. Somebody on the account,
We understand that.
just for, you know, I guess the check signing, but also just depositing, and, cause we're gonna have a lot of money coming in the next few months.
Yep.
Which is a good thing, but somebody's gonna have to be, you know, able to put it in the bank.
Yep.
I mean, it's easy, you just have to be on the account to do it.
Right, and that might be something that myself or one of us can get on there for the time being.
Cause now that those, you know, the tax reporting services, I mailed those bills out, I mean, they'll probably pay right away. You know, they just get it out of the way, at least
Yeah.
have, and, I expect tax bills to start coming in, even though they're not due yet, like they did this week.
Mhm.
I think they'll keep it coming in early.
Okay, 12, clerk's report.
We have to accept the treasurer's report, right?
I already did.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did? Okay.
Yep, and seconded, it's all done.
That's right.
I never moved that.
So, elections are 3 weeks away or so. This is the mailing I just got today on instructions and, that's one of many mailings that the state sends out, but anyway, I just printed it today. Dog registrations are available, as of today, and still have the online services. I have not updated the website to reflect that, I just kind of thought about it, but, and then I also gave you guys a handout for clerk duties. I got 2 different, I just went on the internet and just found the first 2, you know, whatever, it's just information. But when I was talking about license vital records is what I was really trying to say is, you know, birth records, not that we have a huge amount, but death records, marriage licenses. So that's part of what a clerk does, as well as, you know, doing the minutes, doing, you know, I guess what you already know I do, so.
Noted.
I just thought it would be helpful to, kind of clarify that in case you guys, you know, wanted to know, so anyway. And that's it, that's all my report.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, acceptance of the minutes. I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes as written, as the clerk typed them out.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that was dated this September 17th. All right, old business. I've signed the long-range, state, road assistance program, and I forgot to print off a copy of it. I've reached out to Erin, who's at the state, hopefully she'll send another a copy of it, so we can have a copy of it, whatever. And that was $1,208 or something to that effect. Actually, I could talk to Peter too, one of the two. I don't have it, it was on there. It was like another $1,200 or something to go into that same fund, which I still haven't been able to figure out where last year's money went. It's in our budget somewhere, I assume it's in the road, but it needs to be tracked, and specifically go to, capital improvements or something to that effect, and there is a box, you can save it for later. So that old business, I guess what I'm saying is I did sign that.
Who did you send it to? I just missed.
Aaron, oops,
But is it to the state or?
yes, to the,
Aaron Gold.
this phone is a, Aaron Gold, yep. So, any other old business? Anybody wanna bring up? No? Charlie?
Nope.
Okay. New business?
I don't have anything.
No new business? Okay. Beautiful. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Meeting adjourned, 18:55.
Good.
ATV club,
Yep.
it's just one check. And then
Who applied for those jobs, Charlie, anyway?
this one
Who
has,
applied for those committee jobs?
the current, AP, but it
Local,
also has
you mean housekeeping?
Well, I know this job here.
things on here that were just.
That's the only one
automatic
I've had
transfer
applications for.
for
I have two
meetings.
people, one
Keep in
that
the
lives in
system.
Moxie,
One of them
Florida, one
was
that lives in
At a
Northampton.
printout, so you signed off on it, the other one was in our.
One in
chart
Northampton and one
as
from
a
Oh,
chart.
good.
Yep.
And so I added them both in. They
And I
don't
have the
affect-
applications and, you
Did
know,
Charlie
just,
from
the-
Northampton be here?
Like
It
this is
could be
total,
that-
but this is how much cash.
they're coming up here
This is
anyway for
already
something
done.
else, I don't know, that's gonna be part of the
That makes
process.
sense,
Thanks for
yeah,
explaining.
that makes sense. Well, that's good. And hopefully they could do that before election, right? So we
Hopefully,
don't have to do it.
That one that lives on the Moxie Road, that must be the new people that got Gordon Gold cards.
yep, this is that GA thing that I need to do this, guys, I just had to fill out the blank because.
Well, thank you, Evan.
Yes.
We'll See you.
Yeah, I'll still be around.
As you travel the world,
we
send us
are.
a postcard.
My wife thinks we're gonna go back to California for 2 months and then slow down. I don't know if we're gonna do that, just do that, but we're gonna do some driving. So, I don't think that, our balance has the 22,000
I wouldn't think
reflected
it
in
would,
it.
if it's kind of,
Yeah,
it's like there's a pending charge on your credit card, it
Because,
doesn't
see,
show on the balance.
like, these are
Is that one spot?
these are the balances.
Yeah,
So,
right.
See how there's no balance
Yeah.
next to it?
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's being
Oh,
included.
yeah.
No,
I had
In the
a group that was
balance.
for this week and they deferred the next year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
Yeah,
couldn't
never
see
got
that
any
when I was
more traction.
talking
Well, no.
earlier.
The Bailey guy, that's why I was trying so hard to sell Sky's Camp, I was trying to find
But,
something.
you know, I mean, we are,
Yeah.
we
Dan,
have to be
Brian
mindful
didn't
right
make more
now
money.
and
Yep.
just wait for
But
tax.
we, we got one yesterday.
You did? Good for you.
I think we're,
I
I
just
forgot
wanted
to
to share.
mention that
That's
the
right.
printer
That's
is
right.
like way low on
All
ink.
right.
Still sending them to you for the next couple of weeks, so.
So I
Well,
should.
I would say just keep sending them to, box
Oh, the address,
35.
that's what I didn't
See, that's a
get
separate
that.
box now, it's
Okay,
just
yeah,
tax.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, I got you.
And I've got that key here, but I'll give you
I
that
think we
key
should
off
have
to somebody,
somebody
but I'm
back.
still checking that box every day. And I mean,
That's the question.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot,
Amazon,
you sent
whatever.
up to do that, so.
Yeah, get,
And,
get it out there.
I
get it
actually picked up a
sorted,
check from
and
Judy
we'll-
today.
We needed it. We
So
needed
she
to
called me and said
make
that
sure
she
we
had
have
one
like a discretionary
mailed to her
fund
house, so
stuff.
it was fine, I went to,
Keep forgetting.
went to Northern and picked it up.
We keep forgetting to put on the agenda.
But I did get 6
Uh,
already.